Beginner cornering mistakes. Ooh, this is a fun topic, one that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, because I see lots of compilations on Instagram and YouTube where people are doing silly stuff on their motorcycles and cornering incorrectly. Now, cornering is one of the funnest things you can do on a bike. I highly recommend you head out to a track day and get yourself doing it correctly and in a right environment. But hey, there's no getting around it. It's a ton of fun to ride a twisty strip of asphalt such as the one that I'm on right now. So how can you go about doing it safely and effectively, and what are some of the common pitfalls that beginners might experience? Let's talk about the first one. Should be pretty obvious. Too much speed. If you're coming into a corner and you're a beginner rider and you don't know how to trail into corners just yet, you're a little not too comfortable with it, slow down. You will give yourself a much better opportunity to make the corner if you simply ride a little bit slower than you normally would like to. As you pick up the pace, as you get used to stuff, you're going to eventually ride a little bit faster, a little bit better. But while you're learning, give yourself the opportunity to make it through the corner. The number one thing I see, I've seen it in real life, unfortunately, I've seen it on compilations, is people running wide. There's two reasons why people run wide. Number one, they're going too fast and they literally can't make the corner. That's usually pretty rare, I will say. The other one is target fixation. You didn't commit, you didn't look through the corner, you didn't think you could make it, you definitely could. It's pretty rare that a beginner rider is going to bonsai themselves into a corner going 3 times the speed limit and just go wide, you know? On a racetrack, that can definitely happen because, you know, you're in closed conditions, you're learning the track, maybe you blew your braking marker, and now you're off the track. But out here, on a twisty set of roads like we are on right now, it's pretty rare, honestly. What happens more often than not is a beginner rider just simply didn't commit to the corner, didn't look all the way through, and just saw the hedges or the edge of a cliff coming, and they went, oh crap, 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 and they keep looking, and guess what? You look where you want to go. So giving yourself the opportunity to look through the corner is going to be the best thing you can do to successfully navigate the corner. The other thing I see beginners making mistakes on is they focus on body position so much, man. They focus on body position so much. They want to look cool, they want to look proper, they want to get in the pocket and do all that cool stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, for street riding, you can sit bone upright and have all the grip you need. You don't need to do crazy spider monkey stuff on the street. Yes, you'll look cooler, yes, you'll feel better, but it's not really necessary to do that sort of thing. Check it out, we got a couple up here on a nice little ride, enjoying the scenery. But yeah, you don't have to do crazy, you know, maneuvers where you're going off and stuff like that. What is this guy doing? Got this chick checking her phone. Hold up a second, folks. Hold on a second. We're trying to get by. Nice and easy. Now, the body position is a bit silly. Like I said, you can be bone upright and you will successfully navigate all the corners you need to. See right in here, I stick a leg out just because that's like ingrained in my brain from track day riding and racing. But honest to God, you could just sit, and you'll see ADV dads doing and shredding up the canyons when they're doing this. You don't need to do the crazy stuff. And honestly, you're going to be much better served off by focusing on your lines, your braking, your throttle, than your body position. Disregard your body position for now, and focus on the fundamentals like this, like the trail braking, knowing that you've got the bike underneath you, pointing at where you want to go, managing some bumps on the exit, that sort of stuff. Because obviously the third point I'm going to make, and you guys know I harp on this a lot, but I'm going to harp on it again, it's covering your front brake and trailing it into corners. Guys, the motorcycle works best when it's on the brakes in the corner. You're loading up the front end, that's how the engineers designed the thing to work, and that's going to be your best bet when it comes to entering a corner. I see so many videos, and I react to a lot of videos of canyon riders, street riders, that sort of stuff. They enter the corner like this, no brakes, not even covering it. They'll approach a corner like the one I'm about to come up to. They're gonna go, oh, I'm gonna brake. Okay, now I'm gonna now I'm going to take it, and I'm on the gas, and this just feels awful. The bike just does not want to work this direction, whereas if you're lighter and longer on the brakes, you're carrying them through your corners, you will see a vastly improved motorcycle feel. Look at that. The bike just wants to carve a line. Now, the other point I want to make as I go a little spider monkey mode here. Oh, yeah, baby. The other point I want to make is lane positioning. Beginner riders tend to have very poor lane positioning. And I don't mean line selection and apexing and all that cool stuff. I mean picking a line that's going to keep you safest and for the road conditions. What do I mean? I mean that you're going to want to be in a position that puts you at the best chance in terms of a crazy situation happening. So always stick to the outside. For this right-hander over here, stick to the outside over here. Try to see if there's anything coming up. It puts you in a position where cars are coming closer to you here, but you can see more. You're going to be able to see more, and you can carve a later apex, and it's safer as well, too. If you're slower going in and carving a later apex, it's so much better than trying to kamikaze yourself and carry a bunch of corner speed into the corner, because that's just not going to work. And that's the other point I want to make, is that oftentimes the biggest beginner rider mistake I see for cornering, not only just going too fast, but just not knowing the route that well, man. Don't go out and ride a twisty set of roads that you've never ridden before at 10/10. That's a recipe for disaster. Don't try to keep up with your buddies. If you don't know the road, just chill out. Chill out, see the road as it comes to you, and then go from there. All right, coming up here, we see the little yellow signs, right? Pointing this direction. What does that mean? It means the corner's sharper than you might anticipate. It's telling us, slow down, here it comes, you know? Corner, corner, corner. And I've seen a lot of videos on Dan the Fireman's channel specifically where, man, guys just like, they just ignore that, you know, those indicators for some reason, and they just send themselves going wide. And they don't trail it in, they don't save it, and that's a bummer. You know, that was a preventable situation. If you just noticed the little signs on the road, you could have prevented the situation of, you know, you running wide there. And that's the other one too. I've seen a lot of beginner riders, you know, the road signs are there for a reason. If it's marked 15 miles an hour for the corner, that's typically a very conservative estimate of you being able to safely navigate that corner. 15 miles an hour is extremely slow to take a corner. You can usually very safely add 5 or 10 miles an hour to the suggested corner speed and be completely fine. I used to have a rule back when I was Mr. Street Rossi where I would say, oh, it's double plus 10, which, you know, sometimes that works. A lot of times it does not, unfortunately. A lot of times you're going to be going way too fast for your corner if you do that. Let's flip around and go back up the other way.
Folks, let me take a quick break to tell you about our giveaway GSX-8R. I have honestly been kind of blown away by this thing. Yes, I famously called it the French bulldog of motorcycles, but Suzuki's built an awesome, fun, flexible platform that allows you to lay down serious miles, tackle twisty roads, or just simply commute as well. It's a rewarding bike to ride, and I can't wait to keep enjoying it for the time I have it. Head over to Yamanoo.co and become a member to start earning automatic entries that never expire. You can stack them up, apply them towards the current giveaway, or wait until we drop a new giveaway you're more interested in. It's the best way to support the show, and we literally could not do what we do without the thousands of members on the website. You also get access to our Discord server, which is easily the biggest and best in motorcycling. So head over there, sign up, and support. Thanks. Now let's get back into this episode.
All right, up here it says 15. Let's go ahead and take it at 15. I'll show you what that looks like. This is 15 miles an hour. Actually look behind me to make sure nobody's coming up my rear end. That's faster than 15. So like I said, the suggested speed signs, for example, that one with the chevrons, and right here it says 15, it's very conservative because they want people to be safe, obviously. You don't need to take it at 15 miles per hour. Let's flip around and hit that corner one more time at a speed that I feel is reasonable. Let's go ahead and flip around safely. Bonus tip for you guys. I've seen lots of crashes where people are doing U-turns or flipping around in very unsafe ways. If you're trying to turn around on a road like this, Don't just assume that there's nobody there and just flip a U-ey. Pull off to the right, take a good look at your surroundings, make sure nobody's coming, then go along your merry way. Alrighty, let's see what speed I feel comfortable taking that corner at if I was riding kind of my fun street pace. Let's see here, entering close to 70, gonna go down into second. I'm trailing in the brakes. Lowest speed was 36, I think is what I saw. Exited at 46. I had a PC light come on a little bit. GSXR is telling me, hey man, you're on the street, take it easy. Had that guy crossing the line a little bit back there. All right, so that's kind of my pace of what I would do. So it looked like for 15 mile an hour, I was hitting it at about 36 or so. That was like a fun way to hit it. For a beginner rider, man, I would say like, you know, a corner like that, 25 miles an hour ought to be just fine. Let's see how that feels as we flip around here. Checking our 6. No traffic in the mirror. We'll look back with our head. We're good to go here. Doing some very silly squid stuff here, aren't we, folks? All right. So yeah, this same corner, I hit around 36, I think. Been in a second. Oh no, it wasn't this one. It was the one coming up. It's marked. That's right. So right here, marked 15. Let's see. I'll take it to second. This is a very conservative pace. I keep an outside line right here, delayed apex, and 25 feels very reasonable. Yeah, and we're powering out about 30 or so. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. So again, keeping an eye on the signage for the corners is going to be your best friend. They're there for a reason, you know. Corners like this, they're not marked, right? Only the more dangerous ones are usually marked. You know, these are kind of more flowy sweepers type of thing. But you really got to keep your wits about you. But if you carry brake pressure into your corners, you can adjust as you go in. You don't want to flick it in with no brake pressure, right? The MSF teaches you, oh, you want to brake upright and then get all your braking done and then turn it in. That feels terrible. It genuinely feels awful for the bike. It feels like I'm not giving it the correct input when it flicks over on the side of the tire. It feels like when I get all that weight loaded up on the front, the tire bites in and I can actually get the bike to do something. It feels really, really good. So yeah, focus on your brakes, guys. If you're a beginner rider, you're out there cornering, having some fun, learning the ropes, focus on your brakes. The vast majority of the stopping power on your motorcycle is going to come from front brake, then engine brake, and if you're really going like absolute panic mode emergency, then yeah, use the rear brake, use everything, just try to get the thing stopped. Because the other big mistake that I see beginners making in cornering is applying the brakes suddenly mid-corner. That's one that I've seen a bunch that leads to crashing. So why is that? Well, when the bike is leaned over, the front tire does not want an immediate load, right? I'll show you here. If I'm cranked over, oh man, if I stabbed it very lightly because I obviously don't want to crash. But if you stab the front brake mid-corner, it just feels awful. It doesn't feel right at all to do that. You know, you'll flick it in and it just, like, the whole bike gets unsettled. So if you're mid-corner, you know, and you're doing it correctly, you've trailed it in and all that, just let the bike glide through. Let the motorcycle glide through. Take it as it comes. Don't give any sudden inputs mid-corner, because that's how you can wipe out. And to be honest, I've seen people wipe out more from an underloaded front end rather than an overloaded front end. You know, you see guys in MotoGP, they crash on the front end, they overloaded that front end. Very, very unlikely to get that done in a street riding scenario. It's probably not going to happen if you're riding on street. You're not going to overload the front tire. See my friend up here trailing it into corners. Look at that, brake pressure still on. Let me pass by, that's nice of him. Had that brake pressure still on, that was real nice to see. Got some motorcycles out here on the roads today, it's very nice. But yeah, that's how you're gonna wanna do it. You're not gonna wanna suddenly and dramatically add braking pressure, because if you do that, you know, the bike is going to get unsettled. Watch for those decreasing radiuses as well. By trailing into corners like right here, it's tightening up. I've got the pressure on the front. I can tighten up with the corner, you know? If I took that corner without having any brake pressure on, I kind of don't really have any options, right? I don't have any options to actually get the thing turned in. I just have to hope and pray that I can keep leaning over, and that's not a great place to be, right? So guys, those are some of my beginner cornering mistakes that I see. I hope you learned something today. Hope you took away something of value. If you have any questions on anything I suggested in today's video, please drop me a comment down below. I will do my best to try to answer. And if you want to join our community over at yammynoob.co and get your questions answered that way, I highly recommend it. It is a ton of fun. Our Discord server has all these amazing folks on there ready to help, ready to hang out, and ready to BS with you about motorcycles. It is quite truly like a bike night that never ends. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.
Your time with me has run out on this video, but you know what else is running out? This GSX-8R giveaway ending in July. You're not going to want to miss it. Become a member over on yammynoob.co. Click that link down below. Lock in your chances to win this motorcycle. But in the meantime, if you need a little bit of time to think that over, hit the link right over here and keep watching yourself some sweet, sweet Yammy Noob content. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, you love that content, don't you? Don't you?